Welcome to the Back Chatter Podcast. I am Bryan, joined by my host, as always, a man who I hope is ready to throw it back old school style. Adam, how you doing today?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what is going on over here? My goodness. Throw it back old school style? What are you talking about?
Okay, boomer. All right, so that may not have come out the way I wanted to, but this episode today is going to feel a little bit like season 1 of Back Chatter because we're not going to be recapping a specific round, not going to be heavy production. Just going to be me, you, the microphones, and the scary abyss that is our brains as we talk about kind of the halfway point here of the golf season, where we're at and where we're headed. That's how you kick it old school style.
You probably should have just said that, you know. You could have maybe lead with the descriptor next time.
Fair enough. By the way, I love the shirt that you're wearing.
Oh, this thing? This old thing?
Yeah.
The rum swinger season? I mean, this is a good design right here.
It is.
Not going to lie. We're running out of them in the store, let me tell you. So get there as fast as possible if you want your rum swinger season shirt.
Bagchattergolf.com. Click the store link. That's how you'll find it. I'm rocking my Philly Cricket shirt. Club I've never played at, but I'm hopefully still allowed to wear this because I was on property.
I think so. I think that's how it works. I think if you have it, you're allowed to wear it. That's the rules.
Let's start here, Adam. Do you still love the game of golf?
Yeah, I love the golf. I love the game of golf more than ever, Bryan. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm at the peak of my golf-loving life.
That's amazing. I mean, we are about to turn the calendar from July to August. It doesn't sound like you're on the verge of burnout at all.
No. In fact, I am dreading the fact that, like, we're probably about a month away from having no more, like, serious tournaments on the calendar. And there are some in the fall, but they're all smaller. I'm dreading that a little bit. I'm just, like, you know, I am loving the high of always having something to look forward to in the tournament-wise.
Yeah. So how many tournaments have you played in so far this year? What would be your guess?
I should know that. I think it's like, I'd say it's 12 or 13.
Okay.
I think
it's say like 9 or 10.
It's up there. It's getting up there. It depends. Like, I keep adding little things to my schedule. I just played in a qualifier for the Kimberton Golf Club Championship that they're having an open qualifier for. Did well, and we'll definitely be playing in that. So, like, little things keep getting added in a fun way, and I'm, you know, so there's still a lot left to go, but I think I'll definitely be over 20 by the time all is said and done. What about you, love wise? Are you loving the game of golf?
I am loving the game of golf. I wouldn't say as much as ever. I think the early season excitement coming out of the winter, I think a little bit of that has waned for me. But I feel like I'm playing some of the best golf of my life right now. And that's a little bit interesting to me that I'm not, like, super excited to get out there, like, every day and see if I can put up some great scores. But yeah, I'm starting to dread that the days are getting shorter and that the dark winter of the soul is coming where you got to put the clubs away for a couple months. Not a fan of that, but we do still have... Let's take a look at what we've got left on the schedule.
Yeah.
I put a list together, but I may have missed some things. So we're about to head into August 3rd and 4th, this weekend coming up.
Yes.
Honeybrook Club Championship.
Huge.
Really, really huge.
This is, I'm realizing as we approach it, it's not the biggest thing I've played in, just objectively. It's probably the thing I'm most excited for. It's like this, you know, there's something different about actually competing around people who you know and who know you, and what it would mean to actually win a Honeybrook Club Championship. It's not as big as like getting through U.S. Open qualifying or something, but it's up, you know, with anything else that I've been doing.
It's important to you It's important to you. And that's, as I've said all along, that's the most important thing.
Sure. As long as you're not ignoring the objective realities surrounding these things. Yeah.
But it's not, its importance to you is not based on like the percentages of how hard it is to win this versus how hard it is to qualify for this, that, or the other.
No, it would be an accomplishment, and it would be an accomplishment in the most fun setting for me to do it.
Yeah. What do you think if FanDuel had odds? I know we don't know exactly who's in the field for this thing and who's playing. Mm-hmm. How many players do you think would probably have shorter odds than you to win it? Like 4 or 5 maybe?
I think it's like 4. I was looking at the list of people who have already signed up. Ian Larson, who's is he a senior in high school still even?
I'm pretty sure he's in high school, yeah.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player. Definitely going to be playing D1. He just shot 5 under in a Gap Am qualifier. He would clearly be up there. Matt Perino, the defending champion, would definitely be shorter odds than me. I don't know. You know Jake Ritelli better than I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if our odds would be similar, if he'd have better odds. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they would be pretty close. I think he would have slightly shorter odds maybe, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like Ellis Chandler's in the field. He has won before. I haven't seen him playing much recently. I don't know where his game is at, but he could certainly beat me on any given day. Because it's kind of funny because you kind of go through, like a club championship is weird because at first you start going, you just look through and say, who are the people who could beat me?
Yeah.
Now I don't mean could beat me on any given day. I mean could beat me if I play well. So if I play roughly to my capabilities, who are the people who could beat me? And that cuts out, half the field or more. And then you go, okay, who are the people who, if I play my best, might just truly beat me? Even if I play my absolute best, might just beat me anyway. Right. And that's like a list of like 4 to 5 people max. So it's like, it really is, I think, probably 6, 7 people total who could win. And I do think I'm in those 6 or 7 people. Yeah. I think I am capable, the way I've been playing this year, of posting a couple under over 2 days and seeing if it holds up.
Yeah. 6, it's exciting.
I'm
excited for it.
I think I would definitely be, to use the FanDuel terms, I think I'd be like plus 700.
Yeah.
Something like to win. So it's not likely, but I think I'm in the discussion.
Yeah. What do you think my odds would be?
I think you'd be 45 to 1.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking somewhere in 35 to 50 to 1, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I think it's like you are, so there are lower handicaps than you, for sure, but then you've posted like 71, 72 a bunch of times. So I think it would take, Barney was telling me that in previous years, before RJ came around, before Matt Perino came around, before a couple of these college kids came around, there were a lot of years when like JK was winning and Doug Zellner was winning. He's like a lot of those years, like
Rick
3
Umani,
over. Rick Umani. And he said that most of those years, 2 or 3 over won the club championship over 2 days. And so he was like, that's clearly changed now. There are players who can shoot under par, and they are out there, and there's a few of them, Yeah. And so it's something where if it was just skewed slightly higher, and you could shoot 70, 72 or 71, 71 or something like that. And so it would take that, and then a lot of the players who could, so you'd be, if you could take that right now, you'd take it and just see where it finished. And I think if you ran the simulation a bunch of times, there would be tournaments where everyone else didn't play up to their potential, and maybe you win one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've only played in 1 or 2 club championships over the 7 years that I've been a member. I'd love to be able to find those scores that I shot. What did you shoot the last 2 years?
So both times I shot awful in the second round. So 2 years ago, I made the final group and shot 71 in the first round to get into the final group.
Yep.
And then shot like 79 in the second round.
Okay.
And then last year, I shot 75, I believe, in the first round and was like third to last group and shot my only round in the 80s at Honeybrook all year in the second round. So I fell way out of it in the second round. That was frustrating last year. I've got a little scarring from the back-to-back, near 80 rounds in the second round of this thing, but I feel like I'm in a different place.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a fun weekend for sure, and I'm glad you're playing, and we're both playing the Lancaster County Open the day after. So we've got 3 straight days of individual medal play competitive golf, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a real interesting weekend for me because I have not played any individual golf at this point. So this will be in the fire. 2 completely different. One a club championship over 2 days. One a 1 day Lanco Golf Association event. 1 day sort of with friends, people I know. 1 day not people I know. 1 day at my home course. 1 day at Conestoga, a place I've only played, maybe 10 or 12 times in my life. So I don't know what's going to happen. Putting everything out. Don't want to take any big numbers, but they're always in play. As we'll talk about as we get a little further in the episode, I feel like my game's in a good place. I feel like I have all the shots that I need. So it's going to be real interesting to see what comes out of it. I don't feel to this point, I don't feel like I've really been missing this in my life. In fact, some of my best experiences this year have been sort of member guest type stuff or just banging it around with friends. So, but I'm keeping an open mind, and I'm kind of hoping I surprise myself this weekend.
I would still argue we're not going to get back into this, though. You said a few minutes ago, I'm playing some of the best golf of my life. I'm not sure why I'm not all excited to get that, better and lower. And it's like, well, because the stakes are so low that you playing the best golf of your life hasn't meant anything. So now if you can go out and play the best golf of your life in a tournament context, I feel like that will give you a boost of golf serotonin.
It may. I think you slightly misunderstood what I said. I played last week against some buddies, and I'm a better golfer than them by handicap, and I beat them, and I took some of their money, and that felt good. That felt really good. I wasn't thinking to myself, this doesn't mean anything because I'm not in an official tournament. I was like, no, this is why I practice and play, so I can come out with buddies and shoot a 76 or 77, whatever I shot. And I was happy with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy with it, just to be clear.
Okay. So yeah, we got those 3 days. After that, the next thing I'm seeing on the schedule is at the end of August, we got the Philly Publix Fall Better Ball, which, again, as we've talked about,
we've got the Donald Ross in there.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, no, I did miss that. Yeah, the Donald Ross. So the Donald Ross Better Ball is a Philly Publix the 17th and 18th.
Yes.
And then their Fall Better Ball is 9 days later.
Yeah. So I was assuming we'd only play one of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm down to play both. Don't get me wrong, Brian. I'm down to play both.
Okay.
But I was assuming the Donald Ross is so there's very limited 2-day options for Better Ball. So taking that one at Jeffersonville, which is a cool course that I really want to show you. I've assumed we were playing the old Donnie Ross.
Yeah, let's do that one. So we're doing that one. We have Honeybrook. Then we don't really have anything in September.
Well, I have day after the Donald Ross. I had been waitlisted on the U.S. Mid-Am at Wyncote. And just recently got an email saying I'm off the wait list and I am in the U.S. Mid-Am qualifier at Wyncote Country Club on August 19th.
Okay.
So that's a big one for me. I'm excited about that.
We got to get out to Wyncote then.
We do. I've played it a few times. I think you've played it more than I have. I don't really have a feel for whether I could score there or not, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out in a high-stakes setting.
I love that. September, I don't think there's much of anything on our calendar. I think in October, we'll have the Honeybrook Member, which that's always fun to play together, a little 2-day event. We have a Better Ball event happening in North Carolina. I don't know if Chasing Scratch has announced all their details on that, so we won't jump the gun, but I think we're going to be there. That should be fun.
That's October.
That's October.
Yep.
And then also at the end of October, the Philly Publix Fall Scramble is at our home course, Honeybrook.
We got to play that. We
got
got
to play that.
Got
I mean, we should. We're going to be the FanDuel favorites, probably.
I would think.
Local knowledge.
We'd have to be. Yeah, got to find something for September. Maybe I don't even know what is findable, but a month off from competitive golf at this point just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, we got to find something. We will be continuing the Bag Cheddar World Series. In fact, probably the next episode on this feed will be.
You call that competitive? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they went to extra innings last time.
Yeah, it's been competitive.
That was competitive. I got swatted like a fly, but I'm gonna try to do better in game 2. Then we kind of do start to wind down on the competitive stuff. But
depressing, just straight depressing. So
how do you feel? I think you would say, like, you know, one of my goals is to get something really cool on the resume. I think it'd be safe to say you haven't done that in the first half of the season. No. I also think it'd be safe to say your goal of normalizing these and getting more reps. Yeah, sounds like you have achieved that.
Fully, and it's so exciting. I don't even feel down about the fact that I haven't done anything super special. It's like I feel like I've, you know, nothing that is a resume builder, no, but I have played well in tournaments. I've played like me, not at my best, but I've played well, and, you know, made the cut in the one tournament, and I just feel no nerves about these tournaments anymore. And that really excites me for the future, where I'm like, it's not just that I've been doing it so much. It's also like I'm starting to get to know the feel of these events, and they're very intimidating from the outside. And then it's like, then you play with a lot of these guys, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, I belong here. This is like, I belong in this crowd. It's not just eons ahead of me. There are players who are beating me by 10, 15 shots over 2 days in some instances, but I've played with a lot of different calibers of players. I've played even in like the U.S. Open qualifier. I'm like, yep, I belong here. Like, I belong with these people who are trying to do these things. And so just in a good way, the aura is gone. And I don't think, even if I don't play in as many next year, though I hope to, I don't think that aura can return, because it's a knowledge thing. It's not just an immersion thing. It's actually that I understand the process better and what it takes and what types of people get into these things, and fully believe that I can be one of those people now and in the future.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. That's all I could want.
Let's switch to a different S word from the schedule. Let's talk about your swing, the state of your swing. Where are we at? Highs, lows, concerns, things you're excited about, changes that you've made this year?
For me, it's been a steady progression upward since I had the shanks early in the season. So that was a dark period, and worked with Jason Nickel a little bit.
What was the low point of that period? Can you pinpoint?
It was a month long where I was even posting some okay scores, but truly afraid of the shanks. I mean, I had a couple range sessions that really were high percentage levels of shanks, but I mostly avoided them. I only hit, because I played in like 3 tournaments that month. Yeah. And I think I hit 3 shanks in all tournaments combined, 2 in one and then 1 in another. Had him going into the U.S. Open qualifier, did not hit a shank in the U.S. Open qualifier. Like, so in tournament shanks were not really a thing that I was fighting horribly, but the fear of them was constant.
Yeah.
And so it was just something that was, my whole psyche was around getting the ball off the hosel. And I've had a pretty steady incline up to where I haven't hit one in a good while. Knock on wood and all that. And I feel really good about my swing. So I've made big iron changes. So the only thing I'm struggling with is, but I'm playing the best golf of my year for sure right now, is I've put in a lot of work on the irons to adjust for the shanks that I had. Mm-hmm. And so the irons are really markedly improved. My wedges I think I'm hitting my wedges the best I've ever hit my wedges. Mm-hmm. My short game feels good. The old thing with my driver has not been as consistent with the swing changes for the irons. And so I'm trying to find the balance between the two. And so, like, I hit my driver pretty bad like 10 days ago, really felt lost with it, but was still shot like, I had a round at Honeybrook where I hit my driver awful and shot like 72 because my irons and short game were so good. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, if I could just get the ball in play, we're good. So I've been hitting just cuts with the driver, like only cuts, and just trying to get it in play. And I'm still going to get it out there when I hit it well. It's still gonna go, obviously, but maybe hitting it a little shorter than I normally do, but hitting the irons much better. And I feel like I'm going to just find a balance. I have to just accept the fact that I really, truly am going to have 2 different swings and not try to blend them at all, you know. So that's where I'm at. My handicap's at like 1.1 right now. Okay. I had a couple of the really good rounds. I had my 67, my 5 under par round knocked off, and that brought me back up. But I think my scoring average is the lowest it's ever been. And I feel, for the first time in my life, I feel confident every time I go out. I feel like I'm playing with par, not with 80. Like truly, like I feel like if I get to 3 or 4 over, I feel like I'm probably going to even that out and get closer to par, not further away. So I feel really good, though it's constantly working on stuff, obviously. Yeah,
that's golf. Yeah, I do feel like Jason Nickel helped you a bunch. If you're in the mood for some swing changes, check him out on the Skillest app, JAYSONNICKOL. I feel like the other big thing, and you've talked about it, I think, in past episodes, but that inside takeaway, you have
and that was you.
Neutralized that.
You. I've had a lot of people look at my swing and never had anyone point out I was taking the club away way inside. And that is what fully got rid of the shanks, because I was coming so far from the inside. That was exposing the hosel to the path. And as soon as I started consciously taking the club away outside, keeping the club head outside my hands, that got rid of the shanks, and I started hitting my irons much better. Mixing that with the driver's been a little bit difficult, but when I hit the driver well with it, it's the best I ever hit my driver. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like it's going to come together. I'm excited for the future, because I feel like some of these things, like having a year like this to build on and hopefully have a similar year next year, I'm excited about an off season to mess around with swing changes. I feel like I could come back next year with a very different swing that I've been tweaking this year. Mm-hmm. But, that outside takeaway thing feels so revolutionary. I want a winter of grooving that with throughout the bag. And I think that could be a bit of a game changer. I don't know. I don't want to talk too dramatically about it, but I think that's something I'm like, the only saving grace of winter coming is like, I want to get a launch monitor eventually. I want to get that Rapsodo launch monitor. It's tempting, Brian. Not going to lie. Set that thing up in the basement and just swing all winter. I'm like, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that takeaway thing, that was right after the work that you did with Jason, where I think he was having you get more hip turn
Yeah.
in your swing, right? And I think that was something that became, once you started turning your hips more, I think that inside takeaway suddenly became way more evident and maybe way more of a problem. I'm maybe out over my skis. I'm not really a golf coach, but yeah, I know it felt crazy ridiculous to you at first, and it seems like it's just a part of your swing now. Yeah, my swing, I feel like I've been sitting on the same major swing thoughts for most of the season, and they've been pretty good swing thoughts. The biggest one being actually making a good turn on my takeaway, which, is something that pretty stock common knowledge, but something that I kind of forget and get away from sometimes in an effort to keep the club in front of me versus getting it behind me and stuck. So that's really been helping me. Jason did help me with that takeaway last year, and so that's been good. I'm totally committed to hitting a cut. Sometimes I get a little steep and like stabby, and so I also have to remember like have some good side bend in there. So I've got a couple of thoughts that I've been going through, but they've been really, really helpful for me. Driver, I do take away the club inside. It's still probably my most consistent club, and the one that I would least like to watch on video. But I just kind of hold my nose and make the swings, and I've got the right miss in there. I try to play the cut, trust the cut, and yeah, my swing feels pretty good. This has not been a year of major swing changes for me. I did my work with Jason in like February, March, and April, really, and a little bit last year too, but I feel like a lot of those things have stuck in my game. We had been looking at making some bigger changes and not getting quite as steep in moves that are really hard to do. And at the beginning of the season, I tried to let that leak into my game a little bit, and it was not working. So it's like, no, I'm just going to play with what I have. And if I want to make some overhauls this off season or attempt to work in that direction, I know who to call and who to have help with. So yeah, feeling pretty good about the swing. And I've added some short game, a little bit of short game. I'm actually elevating the ball a little bit with pitch shots, which is something which has troubled you for a while with my short game, watching me.
Well, it was troubling. So
yeah,
that's why
it was.
I wasn't sensitive to it. I was just shocked when you'd be short-sighted and try to bump and run it for some reason.
Yeah. I still have a ways to go on that, but I feel like, and I'll mention this again in my State of the Game address here as we close the episode, but I feel like I have all the shots that I need to get to scratch. I don't have all the shots there ever were in golf, of course. There's always going to be stuff to learn, but at almost every yardage, every distance, every place I can be around a green, some way more difficult than others, of course, but I'm not sitting there being like, I don't have a shot for this. Whether or not I can execute is another story, and I want to keep putting the reps in. I want my game to get elevated, but for the first time, I feel like I have all the shots, and that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I feel like it leads confidence to other areas of the game when I'm like going out to a course that I've never played before, and I'm like, oh crap, like this could blow up my face. It's like, no, if I'm 75 yards from the green, I have that shot. If I'm 50 yards from the green, I have that shot. If I need to flight something in low 115, I have that shot. And yeah, that's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I said that to you on the golf course today, is that I've been playing a lot, and, we are 6 days out, I guess, from the club championship. And I feel right now like the only thing I need to do, I need to hit balls every day right now, because right now, every shot that comes up, it's not like I'm hitting them all, every single shot, all world, obviously. But I know what I'm supposed to do on every shot. There's no thoughts right now about changes or what do I do or what is this? I'm not looking for anything right now. I want it to be more consistent. I want it to be better. But like you were saying, I use this language with you. I have all these shots. I know what they are and just need to execute them.
That being said, there are still some low moments. In fact, you and Hudson went out. My nephew Hudson went out to play like a week ago maybe, and I don't know if you remember my demeanor and attitude during that.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, no, it was brought us all down pretty hard.
On the second hole, I hit an 8-iron to like a foot for a birdie, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a great day." And then it was all downhill. It was a very low energy day for me. It was hot. I was dragging. We were walking. I was hitting all manners of bad shots. I think that was the day that I had the triple double. I went back to back doubles. I don't know. I ended up sort of saving it on the back and maybe shot like an 83, if you call that saving it. But that was the low point. That was almost I was supposed to play Media Heights the next day with a couple of friends. And around the 7th or 8th hole, I was just like, oh, I'm 100% not playing tomorrow. Like, I don't even know if I
You said it out loud. I know you were thinking it.
I didn't even realize I said it. Yeah. Then I did play, and I shot, I think, 77. It was one of my better rounds of the year. Another thing that happened during that round, which gets us to our next S word. There's just a lot of S words here. This is a little bit of a stretch, but your set of clubs.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Any changes in your bag this year? I know of at least one minor change of your putter going from one Scotty to another.
So we've discussed it pretty heavily. So I did switch from, I've been on the indefinite loan of your Scotty Cameron putter. And then when you switched putters, I went to your face balance putter because that was more what I was fitted to. And I like it way better. I don't know. I'm sure you're going to talk about your putter situation. I still feel like we need to discuss you potentially getting this putter back because I know you got it for a reason, but I am putting much better with the face balance putter for sure. Yeah. They're very similar putters. They're both, it's just
one's a Phantom 5, one's a Phantom 5.5. The Phantom 5 has 7 degrees of toe hang. The other one has 33 degrees. So
I like it way better. I don't know your thoughts at this point as you go through your putter carousel, but and then I switched irons mid-year, obviously.
Yes, that's right. That was huge.
Yeah, so I went from the CBs to the 2021 T100s, and I've loved it. And I do think it's an intermediary step. There's going to be a point now that I've gotten over the hump of going fully to the T100s. In the next 3-4 years, I want to get fitted and into the perfect set of irons.
Right.
I don't know when that will happen, but it's something that feels. This has convinced me that my game has clearly improved since I went to the T100s, and so I'm fully convinced that that's more the style of iron I should be in. Other than that, so I added the 2-iron to the bag this year. We've talked about that extensively. No changes. I mean, I just talked about 3/4 of my bag, so I guess there has been a bit of overhaul.
Yeah. So for me, starting at the putter, I hadn't been putting amazing, and I don't know why, especially with the short ones. I was getting real frustrated with the Scotty and just had been catching myself flirting a little bit with that lie angle balance with lab golf, and walk into Golf Galaxy and I'd look over there. I knew I shouldn't do that to Scotty, but sometimes I'd do a double take. Sometimes I would go over and just roll a few putts. Ended up going to Golf Galaxy with our buddy Russ. Did their fitting for and I ended up buying a DF3 used on eBay right at the end of May. Played with it like twice before my 3-week break when I did Italy and when I was sick and I went to Italy. Probably played about 10 to 12 rounds with it, and it's over, Adam. The dalliance with the Lab Golf DF3.
A torrid affair.
It was a torrid affair. It was, I bought it on May 31st. On July 23rd, in that round with you and Hudson, I walked to the 8th green with the Scotty. I put the Scotty in the bag before that round, knowing that the lab was on thin ice. Mm-hmm. And they say there's a learning curve with lab golf putters, and I believe it. And the whole thing about this thing, you don't have to keep this thing on plane. The face stays square on its own. You just got to let it stay square. I don't know if that was in my head too much. I don't know if the bigger, weird head design just never suited my eye. I think it was a little bit of both those things. Also, the way that the shaft connects to the putter head. It's like center shafted. There's no bend like there is in the Scotty.
Yeah.
I don't know. All in all, I never got comfortable with it. It felt really good. I like the weight of it on lag putts, but that's never been my issue anyway. It's been the shorter ones, and I never felt comfortable over them. And then just going back to the Scotty, I was like, why did I ever leave you? And
yeah, I'm curious about them. I think I'm probably in the space you were in before you got it. I have a weird thing where throughout the bag, at a dress, not only do I not have a forward lean like everyone does. I do at impact generally with like my irons and stuff, but I set up with almost a reverse V.
Yeah. And
I'm like, so in theory, that forward shaft lean is like made for me. I don't know, like the look of them is weird. The size of them is weird. You know, it took me a long time to go to a mallet. So yeah, I'm curious about them, but I don't know. Your experience, I don't know. You were I felt like you were disillusioned with it very quickly, and I feel like the illusionment got in your head a little bit, where then you were thinking about all this stuff. I felt like 3 rounds in, it was secretly on probation.
Yeah, there might be some truth to that. I don't know. Maybe in the middle of a golf season is not the time to test drive a new putter. I don't know if I just thought it would be some magic bullet, but you know, the way I play golf in general is I lean more toward like less wrist action, like more solid wrist positions than a ton of lag and a ton of whip, and like, you know, everything you do, like your practice swings are just like feeling the weight of the club head throughout your bag. Even your putting stroke, you practice that. Like I'm the exact opposite. So I think I was trying to incorporate that more with the lab stroke, and going back to the Scotty, I'm like, no, this face is square. I want to feel like I'm keeping it square when I roll putts. Even my lag putting, I'm like measuring off how far my backstroke is, and it's not utilizing the weight of the head. And so,
how do you think with my weird putting stroke, the aim left, block right putting stroke, with not having to do that, would it mess up my whole system?
I don't know. I mean, we're more than welcome to take the lab out for a spin if you want to test drive it. If you want,
it'd be fun to try. I don't know that I'm going to make a switch at this point or something, even if it was available. But I'm like, I am curious about it. I've putted with it at a Golf Galaxy. I'd like to putt it with it at the Honeybrook putting green and see what that feels like.
Well, it is available. It is 100% available for you to try, but also for the listeners to buy. If you're interested in buying my Lab Golf, I'm not looking to make money on it. I will sell it to you for what I bought it off eBay. You can cover the shipping. Let me give you the specs on it, listeners. It is it's the DF3. It's 35 inches. It is a 69-degree lie angle, which is pretty much standard. I think they come at 69 or 70 degrees. You can do a fitting and they'll tell you, but you know, I'm 5'11", very slim cut, strong build. So if that means anything to you,
he's 5'10" and a half. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm 5'11 3/4, and don't you ever forget it.
You are not. You would be 6 foot if you were 5'11 3/4.
I'm 5'11 3/4.
You would be saying you were 6 foot if you were 5'11 3/4. So we're the same height, Brian. I don't know what else to tell you.
No, you would be saying you were 6 feet if you were 5'11 3/4. I don't lie. I round down to 5'11.
You are not 2 inches taller than me. You're just not. I don't.
5'11" and 3/4. I don't know how else to tell you this.
Hey, no, I'm 5'9" and 3/4, and we're the same height.
I must be 2 inches taller than you, unless I've shrunk. Maybe I've shrunk.
2 inches taller than me. This we need to. We've done a lot of this where we go, hey, we're going to figure this out. We need to get I don't know, like, can we get the combine people out here to officially measure us? Because
just drive up to a random doctor's office and be like, hey, we got a bet going about how tall we actually are. Can we use your
I don't trust the doctors fully. I feel like it's always they're just sort of like sticking it up there. Like, I think we need full back to back, so obviously just the visual and then exact measurements from there.
Do you go like eye level to eye level, or do you go top of head to top of head?
Obviously top of head to top of head. That's how tall you are, Brian. Eye level to eye level is like, well,
I don't know where that came from.
Like, well, my navel is actually higher than yours. And it's like, top of head, Brian.
Top of head to top of head.
It's a foot to head measurement.
All right. Well, you better shave that mop, because I don't want you getting any extra inches.
No, right down to the skull. Here's what I know: either I'm taller than I think I am, or you're shorter than you think you are, because you're not 2 inches taller than me.
I don't know what to tell you. I've been measured at 5'11" and 3/4 for a long time.
Okay, you're right. No, somebody's
so maybe you're.
And listen, maybe I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'm not. This is not an arrogance thing. I just don't believe that you're 2 inches taller than me. I've seen us stand next to each other. I think you've got maybe 3/4 of an inch on me.
I say it is at minimum an inch. At minimum. Maybe your eye level might be close to mine, but maybe it's my head. I don't know.
All right.
But that's why I brought the eye level thing in, because the facts don't lie. I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I don't know what to tell you.
1999. When was this?
Well, you know what?
During the dot-com boom, I was measured.
Speaking of our calendar, which I did fail to mention this, Bag Chatter Day at Honeybrook, August 31st. Maybe part of the festivities we have there is we have an official. We get Samantha out there with a ruler along one of the beams on the barn, and she marks off how tall we are.
We measure. Yeah, I think this needs to be settled. I think we've joked about it enough. And listen, I'm willing to be wrong. I want you to know that I'm willing to be wrong, but it needs to be known.
We have 5 different people independently measure us each, and then our true height is the average of all 5.
Or how about one person who knows how to do it well?
How about one person who knows how to lay a ruler straight on a head?
This is funny because there was Nathan Fielder.
Yeah,
he had a whole skit that's like a thing where they're pranking these people who are there's a whole game show, and the whole point is to figure out who's the tallest of 30 men over 60 days. Yeah, just measure them. Just measure. One person with consistent rules. No cheating. Obviously, you can stand up as straight as you want. Just no toes. We're gonna figure this out.
Heels on the ground.
Yep.
Good posture. All right, we're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna.
It's gonna be exciting. Last thing that I have on my list for me is actually something pretty big. I'm going to be playing some of my golf at a new home for the second half of this season.
Huge news. A second home.
A second home, yeah. You're not
abandoning Honeybrook. You're not abandoning Honeybrook. I'm certainly not.
Yeah. No, but I think I mentioned this to you. I don't remember if it was on the mics or not. Maybe not. Right around the time of the Lancaster Country Club member guest at the end of June, I just started to think I was looking for another place to play golf, to challenge my game in different ways. Also, not golf related, but my wife really wants a pool, and I really don't want to pay for a pool in my backyard. And so having pool access was huge. Lancaster Country Club is an amazing place, but it comes with quite a big price tag, which not in the budget right now. But Media Heights Golf Club in Lancaster is almost as close to my house as Honeybrook is. They have a new pool that they put in a couple years ago. It's a course that I've played a handful of times. I find it pretty challenging, and it's a shorter course, like 6,100 from the Blues, but pretty challenging. It features like 6 blind tee shots. 5 of the first 10 holes have OB to the right, which is which is my miss. There are way too many trees on this property, which, as somebody,
you're really selling it right now.
These are all the things that are going to make it that are going to challenge my game and make me better. They did cut down a bunch of trees. They need to cut down way more trees. Wait till I take you out here in the next few weeks. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah. Although I was telling Erica all about this the other day when we were having lunch on the patio, and that's when I realized, you asked about the Media Heights logo. I think it's a great logo, but there's one thing you'll notice about the logo.
There's a tree.
There literally is a tree on it, which I'm like,
it's funny.
I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. There's like so many places where, okay, there's 5 trees there. There should be 1 tree there, kind of thing. It's in good shape, and I've got a few friends already there. I'm hoping to make a few more friends. So, and I'm excited for a new place to take you. A couple times a month. So.
It's going to be great. And I've said it to you. Listen, if I'm not your member guest, I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be questioning everything.
Okay.
So should I be like, oh no, like we'll see. Yeah, I should be like that. But I'm going to be hurt if we don't play a member guest together.
Well, we missed it this year, so it'll be next summer. We'll see what your handicap's at. I want to. I might want to bring in a sandbagger. I might not want to bring in somebody who's reverse.
I'm willing to stay. No, I'm kidding. I'll just throw up 85s for a month. No, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
I know you won't. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if we have any Media Heights members who listen to the podcast, but I'm excited to play a bunch more golf there. So I went out there a couple of weeks ago, kind of to make sure my decision was final, and played okay. I think I shot like an 82 or an 83 on a par 71. Definitely left a bunch of shots out there. But then once I joined my first round there, shot 77 or 76. I don't remember now, but definitely the best round I ever played there. Already starting to feel comfortable. So
I'm excited for you. I'm excited to get out there.
Yeah, it's going to make this second half of the golf season just that much more fun. All right, I'm going to give you, the floor is yours for the next 60 seconds. Unscripted, unplanned. I didn't even tell you I was going to make you do this. I want the state of my game address from Adam Shorey. I'm going to put you on the clock. I'm going to put you on the clock for 60 seconds. So, ready, go.
My fellow bag chatter Aryans.
Aryans?
Aryans.
Oh, bag chatterarians.
Bag chatterarians.
I thought you were calling them like the
Chattarians. Bag chattarians.
15 seconds.
I'm here to tell you today that the state of the game is good. The state of the game is as good as it has ever been, and the future is brighter than it has ever been. We've put in the work. We have the shots. We have the experience, and all that is left for us to do is go and take it. We have to go and take it. We have the rest of this year. We have next year. We have the year after. We are just absolutely filled with prosperity, and we are grateful. You put up the clock, and it messed me up, Brian. I was in a rhythm.
Hey.
That was better than Joe Biden's State of the Union.
I was ready to vote for you. I was ready to go to war for you to protect this country. Okay, I'm gonna put the clock.
Sorry.
You were saying we. I thought for a second. I was so excited. I thought I was a part of your we. you were doing the royal we, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, you're speaking for me right now. I don't even need to give a state of the game.
Yeah.
But I will.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, here we go. Clock has started. Listen, my fellow bag chatterites, we have never seen such a good time as we've seen right now in this country. The results have been great. They're only going to get better. Our experiences, I have no idea what I'm doing. I want to start over again.
Well, you can't. It's too.
Here's what I know. Listen, I'm going to put all rhetoric aside. Here's what I know. My opponent already said this, but...
We're not opponents, but that's...
Okay. I have 24 seconds.
Okay.
Here's what I know. I have all the shots. I am learning more about myself than I ever have. I'm executing at a rate that I have I'm executing at a higher rate than I ever have before. And I am in the process of learning. Is my golf game truly about trying to compete at higher and higher levels? Or is it about having fun with friends, competing in low stakes tournaments?
You're way over a minute. I know you are. I can't see the clock.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I think the question now is Bryan fit to run for office?
We beat Medicare, is all I'm going to say.
That was so good and so motivational for all of us. Thank you. You answered all the questions, Joe. You answered all of them. Way to go.
I should have went first, actually. Your State of the Union was basically all the things I was going to say, and you said it. And then I panicked. I didn't have anything new to say. Things are good. All I'm going to say, things are good. I feel like my game has never been in a better place, and I feel like I might be learning exactly who I am as a golfer and what I want golf to be for me. I feel like I'm at a better place than I ever have been, and I feel like I'm going to learn so much in like these next 2 months. Very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Teddy's excited.
Teddy's excited, and it's yeah. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
It's good. What I'm also excited for is our next episode should be out in a week or two. It is going to be Bag Chatter World Series Game 2. Game 1, I had a lead at the turn. You ended up closing the gap. We went to extra innings. Game 2, if I get a lead, can I keep it? If I get behind, can I claw my way back? Are 18 holes going to be enough? These are all the questions that will be answered in Game 2, and it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for checking out the Bag Chatter podcast. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and you already know how to subscribe to podcasts, so I'm not going to waste your time. You can find us on all the socials at Bag Chatter Golf or Bryan Lane Golf, and you can check out everything we have going on at bagchattergolf.com. If you want more content from me and Adam, check out the Bag Chatter Deli. That is our Patreon, where we only serve the choicest portions of 4-ball ham and the leanest cuts of bone meat. For $5 a month, you get to support the pod, and you get a weekly episode of our Friday supporter-only podcast, Cold Cuts, Hot Takes. You can find that at patreon.com/bagchattergolf. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for listening.